The Commission is very much aware that banning the ancient practice of circumcision would, in fact, ban the possibility of Jewish life to flourish in any member state. The EU anti-Semitism strategy refers, therefore, in section 2.2, and I quote, fostering Jewish life and freedom of religion or belief, where we acknowledge that, quote again, Jewish people express their Jewishness through specific cultural traditional and religious practices, recalling their history and teaching lessons for future generations. It is in this context of fostering Jewish life that we can address the current challenges. We recognize that there are threats, and we do not underestimate them. The Commission is aware that Brit Milah, male babies on the 8th day after birth, is central for Jewish communities as the quintessential affirmation of the covenant between God and Abraham, regardless of the level of observance, whether religious or secular. Europe's recent history is full of examples of the importance of Brit Milah. Alfred Garwood, a Shoah survivor whom I had the honor to host at our Holocaust Remembrance Conference earlier this year, told me that his parents decided not to circumcise him when he was born in the ghetto of Przemysl in 1943. When much later he asked them why, he was told that they knew it might have given him away, and so by not circumcising, they wanted to increase the chances of his survival. It was a tough decision, and miraculously, the family was liberated in Bergen-Belsen. And even after World War II in some Central European countries, Jewish parents hesitated to circumcise their children for safety reasons. It took time and trust until trust was established. And for some men, it was a matter of rectifying the situation only after they had made Aliyah and before stepping under the chuppah. In Bulgaria, like in other post-communist countries, the revival of Jewish life in the 1990s resulted in numerous people discovering their Jewish identity, and this resulted in a wave of adult male circumcision. And of course, every decent Jewish museum has a Brit Milah chair, the chair of Elijah, where the grandfather or father sits holding his boy during the religious act. The chair is a testimony of Jewish life. And by the way, the Jewish Museum here in Brussels has a beautiful chair from Lubumbashi, which former great rabbi of Congo, Moshe Levi, brought back in 1991 following the collapse of Zaire. I'm of course aware that I'm preaching to the choir, but it cannot be overemphasized just how deeply Brit Milah is anchored in Jewish traditions and has been part of Jewish culture and identity for thousands of years, and that we at the European Commission are aware of it. So we warmly welcome this conference, and I want to thank the European Jewish Association for bringing us together here and bringing together the best experts in the field. To conclude, I want to make one important point. As you explore feasible European-wide solutions, unity among Jewish communities is key. For the past 11 years in my current position, I've seen Jewish life in all its diversity, and I love it. However, as diverse Jewish life may be, when it comes to threats and these current challenges, unity is of the essence. The public debate in itself is hurtful to the entire Jewish community. So standing together is key, and I believe I'm in good company, because regarding this call for unity, as it was It was one of the central messages that my counterpart from the United States, Yehuda Kafun, Rabbi Yehuda Kafun, the US Special Envoy on Monitoring and Combating Anti-Semitism, passed when he was here earlier this year. It was his main message, unity in these circumstances. And in that context, I want to acknowledge also the EJA's constructive cooperation, including also with representatives of Muslim faith. Welcome, Imam. I think you have a shared interest in this area. It's also important to bring the Christian denominations in, and as we know, with regards to Iceland, the speaking up by Christian representatives at the time was key. So it is important in this aspect of defending freedom of religion to stand together with the various religious representatives. Once again, I want to thank the EJA for initiating and hosting the event, and I wish you truly a successful and a fruitful gathering. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stay. My colleague Pascal Valek is here, but we at the European Commission, we look forward to this outcome, and we want to see how we can work with this forward. We know that Jewish life in Europe needs to flourish. We do everything in our power to support this and to work towards it. Also because we are aware that Europe can only flourish if its Jewish community flourishes too. Thank you very much.